Hello and welcome to the Crafty Corner. I'm Audra Monk, the Crafty Yogi, and today I am going to show you how to make a watercolor background. There's probably billions of ways, and I'm just going to show you one way today. And this card is the one we're going to make. But then I also want to share, and I'll share these again at the end. Here's a couple other examples that have really bold, bright colors, and they have the same technique used for the watercolor background. And I learned this from another demo at a demo meeting, and that's what's so fun about being on a Stampin' Up! Team or in a crafty world, is that we share our ideas with each other. So if this inspires you, make something and share it on. Okay, so to get started, you need a block. In this case, I'm going to use a long skinny block. This is our H block, and you need your piece of paper. I recommend the shimmery white or watercolor paper. Today we're using shimmery white. And then you need, for today's technique, we're going to use ink spots. So I'm using today soft suede, pumpkin pie, and daffodil delight. The pumpkin pie, you'll notice this one looks different. The pre-printed ones, sometimes you can order them and they offer them in the catalog, and then sometimes they always come in our paper pumpkin kits, and I just save them, and I use them for different projects. We also sell them as uninked. This one is inked. This is with pumpkin pie, and you buy the refills and you just squirt the ink on there, and it pretty much works the same way. That way you can make it be any color you need. Okay, shimmer white paper. And I didn't say this. Your block needs to be super clean. And as I see I have a tiny blemish. I'm going to use the other side. So I did clean this one. You want it nice and clean. And then you also need a water spritzer. Okay, so let's get started. Some other things I recommend are, this is one of our foam pads. It's actually cut in half because I use them in classes. And in most cases, you don't need a full one. But it is nice to have that big size. And then I have a piece of paper towel, nice thick paper towel. And it's doubled up. Okay, so first up, I am going to put the ink on the block. In this case, I want it to go yellow, orange, brown. So we're going to do that. So it's kind of like a sunset idea, and I like to start with the lighter color. No matter where it is on the block, I just feel that works a little better. And so you can streak it across, you can swirl it across. I'm going to get a nice bit of daffodil delight there. Okay, and then next, I'm going to do the pumpkin pie, and I'm going to get that on there. Looks like I might need to put a little more re-inker next time, but I think it will work. And then I'm going to put a little soft suede at the bottom. Ooh, my soft suede is very strong. See, so you can see the difference, medium inked, not so inked, and inked. So you can always play with that. I bet you could get some cool techniques depending on those things. Okay, so you want to ink that up, and then I normally say take it away from your workspace and spritz it, but I wanted to show you how the spritzing looks because sometimes you don't know how to do that. So I'm going to put down a towel so we don't get anything wet. Okay, so hold your block flat. We sell our spritzers. There's 2 in a pack. I don't remember what they cost, but they're worth every penny. You're going to hold it flat, and you're going to spritz until the water starts to run. There we go. See, it's starting to run. I'm going to get the bottom. Okay, and then keep it flat. So normally you would just turn back to your space, but I'm going to move my towel. Get your piece of shimmery white or watercolor paper and place it on there. Okay, so I've been holding it flat, my hand's all wet the whole time, and then I'm going to tip it over pretty quick and put it down. And then I'm going to hold it and press it. Did you see how this is why you're using the paper towel, how the ink squirted out? And I'm going to get that on there. And I may not have said, but you also want to have an extra bit, a little piece of paper towel with you. Okay, I like to leave it on here just for a few seconds. So, sing the happy birthday song or something. And then when you're ready, carefully lift it up. And see that ink going? You want to get that to the edge so that way you can dab it off with your paper towel. And there we go. Then wipe your paper towel, wipe your block off. So if you're going to go again, you can go again. And there it is. It's a little damp. So the next thing up is to get your, oh, here it is. I had it all ready. To get your heat tool. I like to just use it on one, just a little, and I'm going to dry this. So the more water you get on there, the more you might need to dry it. This is not very wet, so that's nice. And I'm going to dry it from both sides. And as long as I think you get the coolness off, you're ready to go. Okay, so I'm in business. All right, so then we're gonna stamp it. I'm gonna use soft suede and stamp those little, I don't know, what do you call these? I think it's grass, little grass things. But to me that looks like just such a pretty thing with the sunset look and the little grass. And that I got from our limited edition stamp set called Blended Seasons. And there's 2 stamp sets to this. It's going to be available for customers starting August 1, and it's in while supplies last. Every once in a while, Stampin' Up! Does a special, and I think it's really neat. There's a lot of fun things in here. So today we're using the grass and the thank you. Okay, so that's called Blended Seasons. All right, so I've got my Blended Seasons, so I got my grass on there. Hold on. All right, and I've got my piece. So here's the other thing, because I'm going to give you a good example. In this case, you want to know where you want the grass to stamp. And I needed mine to be kind of high up because I want to put this big thank you across the bottom. So I like to get the little piece that I'm going to use and kind of give it a space so my eye knows where to go. So I need my grass up here. And I'm going to ink it up, and I'm just going to stamp this twice. And there's no real right or wrong place to stamp it. There we go. So I've got it on there twice. My thank you's going to go here. Yep, and I was a little messy on my stamping. Look at that. I think I had a little too much ink, but in this case, it doesn't bother me one bit. I think it looks great. So then I'm going to use another piece of my shimmery white, and I am going to stamp this pretty thank you right in the middle. There we go. Okay, so now we have to get the card together. All right, so if all you need was watercolor tips, off you go. Go make something. If you want to see the rest of putting the card together, stay with me a little bit longer. Okay, so we're going to flip this over. And often I recommend glue if you have a lot of water, especially if you're using watercolor paper. This today, it feels pretty flat, so I'm going to go ahead and go snail on this part. But I'm going to be a rather generous snailer. And I'm going to go all the way around and across the middle. And see, I missed a little bit there, so I'm even going to go back and give it a little bit more. Okay, I like that. The piece of soft suede is 1/8 of an inch bigger, and this little piece is 3.5 by 2 1/4. So whatever 1/8 of an inch bigger would be. You could also do 1/4 inch bigger, and that would work just fine. Okay, so I'm going to put that on. I'm going to flip that over. I think I was a little too inky. I don't mind it on the grass, but I do mind it on the word. So let's try that again. And sometimes that might happen to you. It gets a little bit inky, and you're just going to tap, tap, tap. Press and hold. 1, 2, 3. I like that a little bit better. There we go. Give it a moment to dry now that I had to redo it. Okay, and then I'm going to snail this. So whatever your adhesive of choice is fine. And I'm going to put that on there with that small border. And let's see, you might want to know how big the white piece is. It's 1 inch by 3 1/8. So then the soft suede piece is 1 1/8 by 3 1/4. Okay, and then that's going to go across there. All right, the rest of the card. This is our one of our new Regals. This is called Shaded Spruce. It's one of my favorite colors. And you might be wondering, how did you decide to put those colors together? You know, sometimes I just feel it or whatever. But Stampin' Up! Made these really nice. They made it for demos, and a lot of demos are making them, and I am selling them if you want one. But if you're a demo, go to the demo site and you can find this. And this is called a color coach, and it listed soft suede, and then it gave me some colors. I didn't actually use crushed curry, but I saw that they suggested shaded spruce as a color to go with that. So I thought that was pretty similar to what I was doing. And that's kind of nice, because sometimes you just want some color tips. All right. And then my front piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and I embossed it with our 3D embossing folder. I don't know, something with planks, and I just thought that would add a little more texture. And you could do either side up. I think I'm going to do the ridge side down. And here is where I will definitely tell you to use glue, because this has so many ridges. See, watch my glue go across those. And I think the glue works better than the snail because it gets in the ridges more. Okay, so some glue on there. Bring your card base in, and then we're just going to put this down. Okay, and I'm going to get it as, as straight as it's going to go today, and give it a nice gentle press. All right, and then we're just going to put this on the front. So same deal, I'm going to go with my glue, my Tombow liquid adhesive, because the front has the same problem in that there's ridges, so you want your piece to stay on. And it looks like I need a little bit more right here. Okay. So I'm going to put that down on the front, I think just slightly higher than centered. Give it a moment, press it down. If you get extra glue, I'm getting a little extra squirt out. If it gets a lot, you can use an adhesive remover, a nice little rubber eraser, and get some of that off. Okay, and then last up, my little thank you, because I kept this card simple, is I'm going to use some dimensionals for this. And I'm going to go ahead and put one here. And then that edge won't be a full go. So let's see if I have some, good, I have some edges. So I'm going to take my scissors and snip a little half dimensional. You could also cut one in half, but I figured there's always halves on the edge. And I'm going to put that there. And then that should be good. And then take off your backs. Put it on there. And I'm doing slightly off to the side because I thought that looked kind of cute. And there we go. So that is how you make a watercolor background, and you can make a nice little thank you card, thinking of you. You could do bold colors. I'm going to play with lots of colors and see what might look nice. But there you go. You need your ink spots. You need your block. You need your spritzer. So happy crafting. If you have questions, comments, requests, let me know. Stay crafty, and I'll catch you next time.